Hi-ho, boys and girls. Welcome to the Crypto Treehouse. My name is Red Baron. Thank you very much for joining us on the show here. We got some big news in progress right now involving Shiba Inu. I'm going to be right back here as soon as I alert social media that I'm online. So give me just a couple of minutes and we'll have some radio silence and I'll be right with you. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and put up the chart and let you watch this thing as it's playing out. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. There we go. Thank you very much, guys. Good to have you with me. Thank you very much for enduring my silence. I always have to do at the start of the show. How's everybody doing? Like I have to ask. Oh, isn't it nice to have this happen finally? Hang on just a second here. Let me get my thing shut off here just a second. All right, there we go. So, as predicted, right on the mark. Now, guys, last night, anybody who was on with me with VIP last night that was on our Discord saw that I did a huge, I'm responsible for this little thing right here. It doesn't, in the greater scheme of things, it doesn't look that much, but I'm responsible for basically doing this little foolishness right here. I dropped a massive pile of cash on this. And then I basically wanted, I'm sorry, it was this one here. I wanted to see if I could move the market. And it was kind of a little bit quiet at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I dropped just a lot, an obscene amount. And it moved the market up, and then I grabbed profit and then dumped again. So it can be done. It can be done. It takes far less to move Shiba than you think. And so anyway, I kind of proved out a little theory. Every once in a while, I'm always being an engineer by trade. I always want to kind of see how things take the toaster apart to see how the toast is made. So, just keep going. Go, baby, go. Go. Mush. Mush. All right, so we have a few things I wanted to be on live stream with this because I want to see you guys enjoy this. This is what we live for. This is what we're here to do. This is why we do what we do. So, about friggin' time, ain't it, guys? So, I'll tell you, we're going to make a few predictions here. I'm going to tell you where I'm expecting. So what we're going to see, so you guys who are new to the live stream, never been on this before, my name is Red Baron. I'm from FibbyCharts.com. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. First thing I want you guys to do, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, because, hey, buddy, I called this, and if this don't deserve a thumbs up, nothing does. But give me a thumbs up, and for God's sake, please do me a favor. Help me spread the word of what I'm doing here. Copy this video and share it with your friends. This move was called. We are in progress. We are still moving. This is far, far, far from done. So we're going to go over a few calls that I made on a few other things, such as MATIC and Bitcoin, etc., etc. So if you guys are new to the live stream, what you're looking at here is an AI-powered chart that uses artificial intelligence to predict moves, statistical probabilities. You're not going to find anything like this anywhere else on YouTube, and it's what we call the magic chicken bones is our little term that we give to it, but it's our more official title is what we call the unfair advantage, and it is the unfair advantage. You can literally, it's just like painting by numbers. So we'll get into that here in just a little bit. If you guys would like to subscribe to these charts, by the way, you can do that at FibbyCharts.com, F-I-B-I charts.com. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit, or you can go to the link in the description box below. And we'd love to have you be a part of our free chat, which is at the Unfair Advantage chat, and that's our free Discord, where I'm on there 7 days a week, 365 a year, never sleep, never eat, and I live only to chart. That's what gives me the greatest amount of pleasure in the world. So I'm on there every single day making these predictions. So some of you guys that are new to my live stream subscription wonder, how come that guy is never on? Well, I am on. I'm on the unfairadvantage.chat. I'm on there all the time. So I don't do an awful lot of public stuff as much because I just don't have time. I'm a busy guy. So if you guys want to be able to access what I do on a much more regular basis, we would love to have you be a part of our free chat at the unfairadvantage.chat. And of course, obviously, you subscribe to the charts to gold or platinum level subscription. You get the VIP, and I'm on there even more making these actual calls. So we're going to take a look at a few things, and so what's going here? I mean, what goes up must come down. I don't want to be a party pooper, but I do want to tell you. See, we're just flipping red right now. That's to be expected, but doesn't mean the party's over. Not by a long shot. So I'll tell you what, these AI lines, everybody knows these lines that's been a member of my community for a while, knows what these AI lines are all about. What those are called is called dual AI lines. Those are Fibonacci lines and a line from our AI program called ISIS. ISIS is our integrated statistical investment system. Basically, that's the bronze lines that are built into these charts. And so basically what these are is these things track statistical probabilities throughout the entire history of given said coin, and gives you basically the levels that these things can go to. So not going to be surprised that by the time we get to the end of this broadcast, we're going to hit, strike, stall, or rebound off of this line right here. So we'll be watching that here as we go through the broadcast. So let me get up my chats here because I kind of threw this thing together here real quick. I didn't get a chance to really take a look at everybody's comments and stuff like that. So everybody get on board. I see my usual suspects. There's Horseleg. There's Wanda. How you doing, Wanda? Panda, Bitcoin, Dals. I've got pretty much the usual guys. So did everybody get loaded last night? I told you. I told you. It's getting kind of ridiculous how often I say that, isn't it? I told you you better get in. I mean, moments before this happened, I had when somebody goes, "Well, should I? Should I?" I said, "I would hurry. I would hurry." And I think he got in just seconds before this thing moonshotted. Now, this is by no means, boy, that looks good, doesn't it? This is by no means the be all say all of the run. We're at 18%. This is a typical sneeze for crypto. So, and by Shiba standards, nothing. It's nothing. We're expecting, some of you guys who are into kind of the woo-woo stuff have heard other channels what they're predicting. They're close. They're very close. By the time we get to the end of this year, you're going to see numbers that are going to absolutely dwarf what you're looking at here. I'm not going to get into that in the public live stream. If you guys want to hear the actual numbers and the actual calls, come into our free chat and join us, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. Discord. Got to give you a little teaser to have you join us and stuff like that. So anyway, let's take a look at a few other things. We'll let that brew in the background, and we will talk about a few other things. So one call I did make here is this one, MATIC. So I've been watching MATIC for a while. I've been dipping in and out of it. Now let's go all the way back to the very beginning here. So I use a standard called TA, technical analysis, but TA does not pay the bills. It doesn't necessarily work the way that textbooks or idiot guides or whatever you want. It just doesn't work that way. And so I've noticed something called 50%. We've termed a 50% move. So in other words, going back in the narrative, what I like to tell everybody is you can learn technical analysis in a book, and then you can apply it to charts, and sometimes it works. There's rules to that as well. Everything has a rule. But what you'll find is, well, how come this technical analysis, if it's supposed to work, I see a pennant, and it's a bull pennant, it's supposed to continue. How come it doesn't ever continue like it's supposed to? It's because these people know you're using these trade rules. The people, and by the people I mean the people who own the exchanges, know you're using those technical analysis tools because they're built into TradingView, and they're using them against you. And so what we've discovered, or what I've discovered, I'm an engineer by trade, and pattern recognition is just something I've kind of one of my skill sets I've been born with. I've just got an eerie sense of it, and I've discovered a number of different patterns that are not covered in any single book anywhere. No one talks about them. No one even recognizes that they even exist. And this would be one of them right here, this purple arrow. Purple is theory. Let me go all the way back to the very start. So we have what we call, this is the first one, called an opening move. No one ever talks about this. Computers have an annoying habit, or kind of an OCD habit, of always doing something and undoing something. So I'm going to have to go back and tell this story for everybody that's new on live stream, because I have a feeling there's going to be quite a few new people watching this video. So computers have a habit of, anytime they start something, they have to finish. Open bracket, close bracket. Open parentheses, close parentheses. That's the way. If you don't have an opening, you don't get a closing, you have an incomplete data set, or you have an incomplete command line. And so think of these as a command line. Basically open the move, and the closing move is we have to go somewhere to close this out. So let me put a finer point on this and change colors. So basically we have this distance right here has to be undone. So we've done it here, it has to be undone. So if we plug that into technical analysis, let's take a look at it this way. So this distance is what we call velocity. It could be up, it could be down, but this has to be repeated at some point in the game. So what our job is here is to find a likely probability for where that is. And I put it right there. Now, I know, because I've been watching this long enough, and I know that technical analysis, or that assumption, will lead you down the path of wreckage. Because what happens is they watch these things, and you have to realize you're betting against a casino that lets you play, but the pit boss is standing right over your shoulder. He can see your calls, he can see your order books, he knows everything. You're not fooling any of these guys on the exchanges, because they know what you're doing, because basically house knows everything. And so you get enough guys loading the boat, going, well, we got this move here, we're expecting here, it's going to go right here. Obviously, it's going to go right here. So one of their plays that they've done that I've discovered over the last 6 months is what they'll do is they'll lead you to load up the boat, go long, go short, go whatever, and because that's how they make their money, and then they let you go halfway, and they make sure everybody's on the boat, and then they flip it. And let me go back and take all this stuff. What they do is they flip it, where this should have gone up to here, they flip it and they take it the other direction. And then everybody's panic selling, getting out. Oh, when you're panic selling, you're creating a seller fee. They make money by psyching you up and psyching you down and psyching you sideways. That's how they make money. They create uncertainty in the market. All these people panicking in, panicking out, getting liquidated. That's what it's all about. It's not about sell everybody a good token and let everybody ride to the moon. They don't make money like that. They make money by creating chaos, and chaos is done by making you think that you're going to go down this road, and then just reversing course on you at 50% of the point. So let's zoom in on this, and I'll get to the point of what I'm talking about. So let's take this out of here for just a second. So that velocity is what's to be expected. That's this purple arrow. But I have, in the last 6 to 7 months, I've been teaching my group that that is not to be, and we've seen it with remarkable repetitive. It goes up 50%, and they reverse it. So I told everybody, this is the move that should happen. And I always have a habit of putting kind of a little slash through the middle using the AI lines. And if we get right in there, let me show you how accurate I am on this. I showed everybody it should have stopped right here, but I had a feeling that it wasn't quite 50%. So I put the 50% marker, and that's where it played out. It went right to the pixel practically, reversed and went down. Now, had you played this call based upon what I told you, you could have got in right here and made yourself about 11.5% in a matter of hours. And this is the kind of stuff that we do with the unfair advantage. Very, very, past performance doesn't equal, blah, 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 that whole disclaimer. However, I will tell you, though, that I maintain a spooky good accuracy rate. So much so that I am literally not allowed to go into Las Vegas and play blackjack. So, and in many casinos throughout the Midwest, because I'm good at that sort of thing. But, more to the point on this is what I want to say is if you use this, you have to have a system. You guys, I want to talk to some of you guys that are new on our live stream here while we're doing this. What I'm watching a lot of you guys doing is you're chasing the latest and greatest thing. You're following YouTubers who they don't really know anything. I'm a 35-year investor. I've done millions and millions and millions of dollars of deals in real estate and stocks and bonds. You name it, I've had my hands on it. Metals, whatever. Crypto's just another. They're all the same flavor of the same thing. They're all just different flavors of the same thing. I've got multiple years. I've got decades behind me. So you're not listening to what I call a skateboard kid. You're not listening to someone who has a day job somewhere else. I do this for a living, and I'm damn good at it, if I do say so myself. I advise people that are not advise people, but I'm on the board with people that are 5 to 7 figure investors daily. And so you're not dealing with an amateur here. So when I speak with authority, and I want to be able to help you guys that just don't have any credible information or anybody to turn to that you can really believe in. That's my mission, my goal, and the reason why I'm here. And so you guys that are on YouTube, I feel for you smaller investors, because it's hard to take a little seed and grow an oak tree. It really is. But once you get to the point where your tree starts to yield a few leaves here and a few leaves there, it does get easier. Like look at my Shiba move here. I was just screwing around with that, and that was 5 figures, and I moved to market. You can't do that with McDonald's money. And the other part about that is if you've got a certain amount of money, you don't have to have more than 1, 2, 3% move on a market to pull back 4 or 5 figures. It's insane how fast. It takes money to make money. That's the truth. It literally is the truth. But if you make one or two bad moves based upon some Yahoo on YouTube that doesn't have a friggin' clue other than he's got a bag of XYZ coin, he wants you to jump in so you can boost his bag up. We don't play that game here on this channel. I don't shill anything. If I like it, I like it. To be very honest, and I'll call a spade a spade. I wasn't a fan of Shiba when it first came out. I mean, I think I've clearly established my record of crap talking this coin, but I've also told everybody it's not time. It's not time. I like to tease my listeners, and so some people got really pissed off at me because I wasn't loving on this coin, but I just told them, I don't like it. I don't like it because it wasn't time. And so a lot of people didn't subscribe, but here I am. Now I like it. I like it a lot, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to be liking it a whole lot more than this tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So for the next 60 days, you're going to see something that's absolutely going to peel your eyeballs back. It's literally going to peel your eyeballs back. What's coming for this thing it's insane, guys. It's absolutely insane. So we'll kind of put that on the back burner a little bit, and we'll continue talking about stuff like that. But so you guys that are new live stream, that are looking for someone to trust, looking for somebody that can take care of you and really have your best interest, you got your boy right here. I'm here for you, and I want to give you all the guidance that I possibly can. We don't give financial advice here on this channel because I'm not a licensed financial advisor, nor do I want to be. You wear your big boy pants or big girl pants, and I do too. We walk the same path. If you follow me, we get the same gains. Amen. That's what it's all about. So with that understood, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the market. All right, so this is our website, fibbycharts.com. If you guys would like to join our website, just simply go to fibbycharts.com. Just go right here to subscribe now. If you want to know the different levels of packages, given right now that the market's about ready to blast off, anybody who's working with, let's say, over $5,000 worth of crypto, I would highly recommend that you get into at least our gold package. And the reason why is because gold comes with VIP, which is some private live streaming and a whole lot more of my private analysis. You don't get that in the bronze packages. There's silver packages and stuff like that. And we do have, you little guys that just want to dabble a little bit, we do have charts that start at about $1 a day. So we want to have something available for everybody. But I highly recommend to anyone that's serious about this, that wants to make some life-changing money and have some a decent group of people that they can associate with that has their best interest in mind, and get into our gold package at the very least. If you're working with over 10,000, I would recommend you take a look at platinum. So I'll just leave it at that. All right. So anyway, I'm working with Platinum Pro. This is for our biggest investors that are over 25,000. Platinum Pro has an awful lot, over 500 charts on it. We have a bunch of new tools that are going to be added to it and whatnot. So hang on just a second here. My computer's glitching on me. I just added a new graphics card and it's not liking me too well. All right. So let's take a look and see what Bitcoin's doing here. All right, so this is kind of nothing really new, nothing really exciting, and not at all surprising to me. Bitcoin had its run up. I suggested that we would be kind of in the pocket right here, between these two arrows. And ping, by the way, that's just kind of my favorite little I told you. So it's kind of become a group little inside joke. Anytime we hit an exact target, it's ping. So I put those on there every once in a while just for I told you so confirmation. So this thing's turning down. Now, where is it going to go? I believe that we are going to settle back down into this purple zone here, or at least bounce off the top of it a little bit. So we are rolling into red. MACD, RSI is going down, DMI is dropping. So all indicators are dropping. We've had and I always hate to use this term, a healthy run. Now we need a healthy pullback. Healthy. I don't know what exactly that means, but we haven't had a crazy run, so we're not going to have a crazy drop. Simple as that. So we are still in the game as far as bouncing off of possibly off the top of this purple, and then we'll regain traction. So we are on track to, for the first time I'm going to say this, we are on track to $100,000 Bitcoin. As insane as that sounds, yeah, we are on track to 100,000 Bitcoin. Did you ever think you'd see the day the most insane thing. But look at everything else that's out there. I mean, shit. Does anything else make sense? Shit, yeah, no problem. Some guy made some money. We don't know who he is. Whatever. Let's throw some money at that. I mean, it's just la la land. It's just crazy world anymore. Nothing makes any sense. So it's. You would think everybody would be buying up metals like a son of a bitch right now because it would be the only real thing you could hold in your hand. But nope, not to be. So. Pardon me, I'm going to try to keep my voice intact today here. I lost my voice again last night. I was talking so much. So, all right, so Bitcoin, this is the one day. Let's take a look. Let's dial it in a little bit more. So this is on the I believe on the 15-minute. Yeah, 15 minutes. So we should easily probably settle back down into the 56.8 to 57.7 category. I'm not going to be surprised that we're going to probably be bouncing off of this general area, like right here. If I can get my marker to work. Yeah, our next leg should take us right down into that area right there. And that's good for us in the alts. That's good for us definitely in Shiba because, if the money's not in Bitcoin, it's got to be somewhere, so that's good. So the more we see down in Bitcoin, the better we like it, at least for now. I will tell you, though, don't get discouraged when you see a pullback on this because, what goes up this fast has to pull back a little bit. Now, here's one thing. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to go on live broadcast right now. So for all of you guys that are new, and especially you guys that are already members of my group, and especially you guys that are in VIP Gold and up, I have a great bit of concern here for this. And so let me kind of segue because what I don't want to see, I'm front running what I expect to see happen with a lot of you guys because I've been watching your trading patterns and the way you do things, and so again, I have your best interest at heart. I want to make sure you don't do something stupid because you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. A lot of you guys, admittedly, don't know what you're supposed to do. We had a gal last night. She was up 15x. She goes, I don't know what to do. Fucking sell. That's what you do. Pardon my language. If you're up 15x, unload the boat. What more do you need? Unload the boat. I mean, how greedy do you? So sell. That's what you do. You take the 15x and you take that money and you put it into something that's getting the hell beat out of it, like XDC. You take winners and you buy losers, and you wait for the losers to become winners, wash, rinse, and repeat. There's your formula for multi-millions of dollars. It's worked for me. So that's how you do that. So anyway, get back to Shiba. I'm going to teach you guys, starting here very, very soon, how to keep this from going south on you and taking back profits. Like I'll give you a good example. There are a number of you that were holding Populous when Populous went and did that ridiculous run that it did when it first came on the market. Some of you guys were millionaires, and then you weren't. And I don't want to see that happen with Shiba. I always call it Shiba. I don't want to see that happen. And there's a really easy way to keep that from happening. I want to teach you guys how to do that, and we are going to be discussing that in Gold VIP and up, how to set this. It's not hard. You can use our system. You can use ISIS. You can use all the markers and stuff like that, and then you can sleep well knowing that at least you got your butt protected. If you're sleeping, you don't wake up and find out you're no longer a millionaire, or you were a millionaire in the middle of the night, and now you're not again. You never got a chance to even roll around to the money, and ain't that a shame? So we're going to teach you how to do that. And I'm going to have some private live streams that we're going to be discussing because all of these things are going to start going up. And so asset protection, position protection is very, very important. And I don't think that that's discussed enough on YouTube by people who understand how to play this game. And so my job has always been to teach you guys how to make money, but I want to teach you guys how to preserve it and how to grow it and how to protect it, how to keep it out of taxes. We talk about all that stuff, when I've got the time. So right now, currently looking at this thing, it's going to go down a little bit. I'm not worried about it. This isn't the run. It's just fun to watch this thing kind of jack up a little bit because it's we're due for some good news, ain't we? I mean, holy hell. So as this thing starts to pull back a little bit, it'll pull back. It'll bounce off this bronze line right here, and I really don't expect that it's going to probably pull back hard just yet. I think that if this were going to be something that was going to be a scam that was going to go up and come back, generally what you would see is this go straight up, next candle straight down, and then it'd be doing something else like that. Basically, just a giant F you, just a giant middle finger. It just kind of dawned on me. So we're not getting the middle finger from the from Shiba. Would thank God for that, but because I don't think I could handle that right now. It's just been one of those weeks. So, by the way, guys, I'm working with 2 days no sleep. So when I tell you I'm dedicated to this, I'm not joking. I've literally had like about 4 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours. So I'm a little punchy to say the least. So if you hear me drinking something, I'm this show is unofficially sponsored by a Diet Pepsi. It's called my liquid motivations. What keeps me alive. If it weren't for that, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. You'd probably be scraping me off the floor with a spatula or something. All right, so let's take a look at a few things. So I'm just going to hop around a little bit. Let's take a look at Doge and see. So Doge had a little bit of a pop there, and I was not really surprised by that. Now, this is let's take a look at the difference between these two. These two are really not working in tandem. They're not sharing any real, kind of like XRP XLM was for a while. These guys are not really sharing it. It's almost like they're trading off between the two, and it's like I think that this one got its little pump simply because this wasn't doing anything, and they thought, watch what we do to these guys. Let's just take this thing and just jack this thing in the middle of the night, And so they ran this up, and it was like, oh, and see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. They get everybody, oh, here's the time where Doge is finally going to wake up and go. People are buying, and they dump it on you. And this is exactly what they do. So I don't trust these runs. This is a completely different discussion, but I don't trust these runs generally like this to hold ground because they just don't. But as you can see, it was inside my channel. I did predict the channel exactly how this thing should be running, and it is exactly inside the channel. When it fell down, it's on the bottom of the channel. So I'm predicting the moves, and I'm showing you guys where this thing is moving, generally relative to its scams and its general moves and stuff like that. Now, currently for Doge and basically Doge has kind of gone mainstream, so it just doesn't get these enthusiastic runs like a smaller newer coin would be. So I'm kind of expecting this, and then whenever it goes out of that, it has to break out of that triangle formation. But basically, we've got kind of a cap right here and a trend line right there. So we're kind of forcing ourselves to the apex of that triangle. So probably by tonight, going on into tomorrow, sorry, it's Saturday today, not Sunday. I would say probably by the time we get to mid-Sunday to Sunday evening, Chicago time in America, you'll start to see Doge do something. Now, up, down, what? Well, I would say we've been expecting since starting on the 22nd, which was yesterday, Psychic Veronica Jane, Transmedium. Sorry, I don't want to call her Psychic. That's not. That's underselling that lovely lady's abilities. She's incredibly good, guys. If you guys join us on Thursdays and see Woo Woo, we go back and listen to some of our past broadcasts. We have a show called Woo Woo Thursdays with Veronica Jane. She makes predictions, and we talk about world events, and we just kind of shoot the breeze and whatever and see what comes of it. So she was telling us this was coming. She's no joke, guys. When she says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. She talked about XYO, so I heard in the Discord this morning XYO is moving, so we'll see what's up with that. I just kind of rolled out of bed after trying to sleep, so I haven't really had a chance to assess the market. It's damn near about noon 30 right now where I'm at, so we'll go through this stuff and see what's up. But we're expecting from now till like about the 28th to kind of be the window where everything's going to start blasting. And so, good news. It's going to be a good week. Should be a good week. So I don't hold out a lot of hope for any of these things going down. So if you guys remember, I've been kind of preaching and screaming safety positions. Some of you guys are like, well, you're predicting a drop. I use statistical probabilities, and I look at these things, the window closed and closed and closed, and now the window is completely shut. So we had a window where we could have gotten a drop. Not saying a drop's not coming, but now it's kind of been pushed off to December a little bit. I'm just reading someone's comment that just made me laugh here. Basically, what I'm telling you is this. I told everybody to get into a safety position, and make sure that you get a little bit of this. Don't hold out for the ultimate bottom, because see what happens when you do that. Never go all in on a position unless I'm different, yes, of course, but you should always kind of hedge your bets a little bit. In answer to your question, Stephen, which girlfriend are you referring to? The one that got hit by the car? We're no longer together. She moved to Florida. I have a new girlfriend now, a real sweetie. She's from Spain. And and by the way, related to that, she lives in San Diego. And related to that, we are doing a birthday meetup in Georgia here on, what is it, the 30th of this month. And so you guys that are down in South would like to meet me, like to meet our crew. We're going to be having our first official meetup for Fibby Charts and combination birthday party for yours truly. We're going to be doing that in just to the outsides of Atlanta, Georgia. If you'd like to know anything more about that, be a part of what we're doing, no charge to join us. You can just go to the unfairadvantage.chat, which is our free Discord, and just go to the birthday party thing and find out, and just ask around. Someone will guide you to that. Now, for you guys that are in the Las Vegas area, we are soft launching a meetup in Las Vegas. So I know that a lot of people on the West Coast have been joining, have been kind of asking, are we going to do anything? And we had planned it. It didn't make sense at the time. Now it does make sense. So currently what I think we're going to be doing is probably about the 13th of November. I didn't want to get right up on top of the holidays, because I know some of y'all don't want to be running out to go do meetups and stuff when you got friends and family coming over for holidays on the 25th or thereabouts. So we're going to do on November 13th, we're going to do a 1, possibly 2-day meetup in Las Vegas, Nevada, starting at the Luxor Hotel. So that more on that. We do have a meeting room, so you guys can go in there and kind of let us know if you plan on attending. And I'll be very honest, I'm using that as kind of a weak excuse, a tax write-off, so I can go see my girlfriend in San Diego. So I'm calling it a business expense, but that's what gets me. That's what gets me to fly there for free. So you got to know how to work the tax system, man. I use that so I can get the plane ticket, so I can go canoodle with my girlfriend and let the taxes, let Uncle Sam pay for it. All right, so I'm gonna kind of just hop around here a little bit, because this is, as usual, these are most very informal live streams. We'll just keep an eye on Shiba, see what's going on. But I'll tell you what, I like the fact this thing is holding ground, guys. I like it a lot. All right, so purple is theory. Purples are never meant to be official calls. I mean, sometimes they can be, but purple is like a theory or a TA. We have a color code system. I won't get into it, but purple is basically what should be, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be. So I sketched it out, a cup and handle, and I said, okay, well, the reason I didn't make this a yellow or a green is because I really wasn't feeling it, because we had a really hard trend line progressing right through the middle of this. And I just wasn't. You can see kind of zipping in on this here a little bit. You can kind of see we bumped right off that three, 4 times, and down she went. So this is the call we should have got, a cup and handle. If you guys understand how cup and handles work, the depth of the cup goes to right there. That's what should have happened, but I really wasn't feeling that was going to happen, because we had so much support and resistance on that trend line, and lo and behold, I was right again. Down she goes. So she went right off the top of my yellow boxes. So XRP is just languishing and right along at about $1.08, $1.09. So Veronica is our transmedium from Woo Woo Thursdays, has called a bottom of about $1.01, and I'm in complete agreement with that. I think we still can do that. So if we just, again, let's just take some TA and let's just look and see what should go according to TA, what should play out. We should be seeing exactly that. So the next move down. Now again, if we want to believe that the 50% move is a real thing, then I'll spot you this. We'll probably bounce right off that right there. Watch it happen. So $4.50. is about where the next move down for XRP. If this thing goes down, that's about exactly where it's gonna bounce off, stop. Now I'm not saying it might not go down, hit that, go sideways, and then continue down. Veronica's got a call at $1 eventually. By the time we get back on air with her, I believe November 4th is our next broadcast after the party, and very possible. I've got some buys set down there at about $1.04, $1.05, because you can never have enough XRP, and we'll see. But right now, currently, it looks very, very probable to me. Now, difference in this, let's take a look at XLM. XLM is where all eyes should be. If you're looking at an X coin, with the exception of XDC, all eyes should be on XLM. This is going to be the superstar. In the next 30 days, you're going to see this thing way outperform XRP, way outperform. If you are not in XLM, bluntly put, I got a question for you. What the hell are you doing? You need to be in XLM. XLM is, and that's my opinion. It's not advice, it's opinion. This thing is about to launch, and when it does, it's exponentially going to be a higher profit for dollar invested than XRP in the short term. It's easier to get. I've covered this a billion times. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. It's easier to get than XRP. It's no drama attached to it. There's no lawsuits attached to it. It moves in tandem with good news and bad news. It's got enough of its own support going on. It's got more adoption. Blockchain is the blockchain is being considered to be the one that holds the U.S. patents. That alone, when that comes to fruition, holy crap, guys! This is a coin that's heavily backed and supported by IBM, and IBM, as I've said multiple times, also does not put their money into things that they intend on losing money at. XLM is a blue chip coin. And if we're sitting at 37 cents right now, I've got a prediction in the not too far flung future of $15. And we discussed that on Woo Thursday, and Veronica gave her opinion on when she thought that was going to be, and I'm fairly close to her in agreeing with what she came up with. But not here nor there. This thing is in the short term a great return on investment, in the long term even more so. So if you're not in XLM, the train is pulling out of the station soon. Do not miss your ride. Now, in the short term, where do I see this going? Well, if XRP is going to go down, if we're going to get a little bit of a downturn, Shiba's enjoying a nice run up right now. Not everything else is. So between now and, let's say, this evening or next evening, Sunday evening, we are going to get a little bit of a downturn. So what we're looking at is, let's go ahead and anybody see what I see? That's a head and shoulders pattern. And it played to here, and it's kind of broken out of that. So we're not necessarily in that head and shoulders pattern anymore. It should have broke straight out of there and came down. But let me point something out again to you guys. Now, a head and shoulders pattern, let me teach you guys who don't know. I'm going to use the marker, so I'm going to use kind of sloppy. All right, a head and shoulders pattern. Here's your shoulder, here's your head, there's your other shoulder. All right. The depth of that to the shoulders, that's your velocity. How you play that is you take this and you move that right to the end, and that should put you right down in the purple, right there on that AI line, perfectly. Now, let me show you something. Remember at the top of the show how I told you that we know this stuff? Oh, we know that. There's a head and shoulders. I learned this in stock trading for dummies. So I'm going to be a millionaire, right? Right? So let me show you how they screw you. And this is a classic example. Let's get rid of all this stuff here just for a brief second. Let's just highlight it like that. Does anybody see anything that kind of mimics what I was telling you? This is the velocity, but what did they do? They cut it off right at 50%. They let you go 50% thinking you were going to get the move, and they reversed it. See what I'm talking about? This is a real thing, guys. It happens. It really does happen. Nobody is pointing this out but me. Nobody. And people are like, I can't believe it didn't go. Well, blah, 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 manipulation. Manipulation, hell. This is planned attack. This is a planned attack. They knew they were going to do this to you. They threw a head and shoulders formation at you, suckered you in, you bought, you went, you tried to go short on this thing, and you got fucked. And so basically, this is the way it works. And so if you would have been playing this correctly, and you would have seen a head and shoulders, you would have said, all right, well, here's a head and shoulders, and you would have been in gold VIP or platinum VIP. I would have showed you this, and I would have said, okay, guys, here's our velocity move. So let's take it to this AI line right here. So not a huge buy. This is just, we're just talking theory, not percentages. There's a 2.75% drop right there. So you have the possibility where you can go ahead and put yourself, you wouldn't want to short that. And we're not big fans of using shorts or longs. We like to just use pure money plays, because there's enough ways to make money with pure money. You don't need to don't risk your capital. We've lost several good investors doing stupid shit. So don't leverage. That's just stupid. But you can, but I don't recommend it. So anyway, if you did a buy right here, you could go ahead and buy that, and you'd be up as much as 3-4% right now, and rising. So just simple little things. Now, again, for someone that's trading with, and I don't mean to constantly berate McDonald's people, but if you're trading with McDonald's level money, I'm just being funny. This is not a play where you can make a crazy ass amount of money. But somebody who's got 5 figures that realizes that 37 cents is not a bad price to be paying for this thing, and if it goes south, then I'll just hang on to it till it turns around. I'll get it back. This is a tremendous play to make when you're bored and you got nothing better to do. You got big money problems. You got rich people problems. So somebody who had 5 figures could look at this and go, okay, well, he's been so right so many times about this. I think I'll just go ahead and do myself a buy right here. Set yourself a buy for $50,000. Buy it, snag it, let that thing turn, and when it does turn, as it did, liquidate and make 3.5% on $50,000. Not a bad day at the races. Not a bad day at all. I've done this so many times, I can't tell you, and it works. It really does work. The more money you have to work with, let's speak hypothetically here. Some of you guys who are future Shiba millionaires will be able to pull this off. It'll be play money. Imagine being able to have $100,000 just to play around with, and turning it into $1 million using a system like this. It's going to happen, guys. It really, literally is that easy to do. Once you have money at scale, it's pretty damn hard to lose money. You ever notice how the rich people always get richer? There's a reason, because it's hard to lose money when you get a certain amount. So, I mean, unless you're just like ridiculously stupid with what you do, it's you can take a few hits here and there, and it doesn't even, you can shrug it off like nothing. I've got a couple of people that are in our group that are billionaires. And I've watched them lose $250,000 like you dropped a nickel on the floor. And it's rather impressive, But they turn around and they make it back 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold. So it's because at scale you can do that. You don't have to be a genius when you've got a system that works and you just use it the way it's supposed to be used. All right. So let's take a look at XDC. XDC has kind of long been something we've been discussing a lot. This is an ISO coin. This is an ISO play. What's ISO? ISO is the vetted banker, big industrial, too big to fail type coins in the future. And this is not too big to fail, but what I'm saying is eventually it will be within that special elite class of investment coins that few people own and everybody wish they did. That's the best way to encapsulate that. XDC right now is burning down the building fire sale price, as far as I'm concerned. And we've obviously got the call going even lower. And again, ping, hit it, baby, hit it. Exactly like I told you it was going to do. When it was up here, it went through the rolling bottom. I said we're going to go to this little wavy line right here. Bang, hit it not once, not twice, 3 times. And it's testing, and it's going to capitulate, and it's going to fall through. We've already got the call right here. It's going to fall into this box zone, and when it does, you best be there with both hands and 2 hands full of buckets ready to buy as much of this as you can get your hands on. Now, this is not a quick turn. This is, as I said on last live stream, or last VIP live stream, this is not something you're going to buy on a Monday and flip on a Tuesday. This is a retirement coin. This is a 3 to 5 year out coin, but this is like, not to put too fine a point on it, this is early years XRP. early years XLM, and I'm talking like when they were like multiple zeros before the first real digit type thing. You're looking at a few years before this really starts to. But go back and listen in our past broadcasts. We have a member that was on live stream with me. We did a crypto chat where he really broke it down, did a fantastic job of breaking this down. Probably one of our best crypto chats we've had, where he really goes through why this is so important and why you want it and what it's got. I mean, it's hard not to get jazzed up about this coin just listening to the man talk, because he's done his homework. He knows what he's talking about, and I've vetted it and I've listened to it, and I'm like, yeah, he's right. He's right. This is going to be, this is. I'll say one more thing I've repeated before on this. This is one of those coins. It has a special wallet. It falls into the weird category of weird pain in the ass coins to get, but that's what you want. I mean, Persistence is a weird pain in the ass coin. XDC is a weird pain in the ass coin. Let's be honest, Theta is still kind of a weird pain in the ass coin. But these coins become just magnificent when they go mainstream. When they end up on Coinbase, the big party's over. I mean, Cardano is kind of a weird pain in the ass coin, and now it's starting to come. It's on Coinbase. Yes, you can make money on Cardano, but ask someone who bought Cardano when they had to really work for it, how well they're doing right now that it's on. And so XDC is one of these. Now I'm telling you right now, sure as shooting, there's going to be a time when XDC is going to go mainstream. It's going to be available on all the main exchanges, probably Coinbase. And when it happens, you're not going to see 0.1053 prices at XDC ever again, ever. And so I would highly recommend that you watch this. Go to the trouble if you don't understand how to buy this thing. Go to the unfairadvantage.chat. Come in, talk to our mods. We've got some top grade mods that would love to help you, get into this. This is not a competition in our group. One of the things I'm quite proud of our crypto group, where when you join our crypto group, we militantly patrol it. We don't let spammers come in. We don't let no trash talking. One of the things I'm quite proud about with our group, we've got about 1,300 people in there, all adults, by the way. Come in, and the people who've been in there, like, I love this group. This is like home. It's amazing. This is the best group I've ever been in, because no one's trying to market you. No one's trying to say, well, look how much better I did than you, or your coin sucks and mine is better. None of that. None of that happens in our group. And so if you're really kind of tired of going to groups that you're in for a while, you're like, yeah, this just isn't for me, please join us. We'd love to have you join us, and see why we call it the Unfair Advantage. It really truly is a group of people that I couldn't have gone out and purposely assembled a better group of moderators. I couldn't have gone out and got a better group of people. I do consider you my friends and extended family. So, I'm in this for the long term. And people who come in, generally, if they drift away, they come back in pretty quickly. So, oh, baby, it's a good day in Cryptoville. There we go, guys. Right on the mark. Bang. That is a ping. P-I-N-G. Ping. Right there. So I might let this live stream run even after I get off mic. I've got some stuff to do. I might just for the sake of letting some of you guys who've never experienced what it is we do, I might let this live stream run probably all day. Just check in, turn the mic on from time to time. But let's check and let's roll around in our money a little bit here. Up 22.89% from baseline. It's going to be a good Christmas, guys. It might suck for everybody else, but it's going to be a damn good Christmas for our group. I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah, Korean Mob is referring to our system. We call it the magic chicken bones. That's what we call the system. It's just a joke, just a bad joke I started a while back. I called it I said, how are you always so accurate? Well, I have these magic chicken bones, and that's just kind of become our unofficial our unofficial thing for it, our unofficial name for it. Win profits? Not until Christmas. I'm not pulling out. I'm not gonna give away the sell off thing publicly. I'm gonna goat you guys into, you got to join us at the unfairadvantage.chat in order to kind of get in on when do we get out, but not for a long time. So here we go. See, we've hit the 1-day AI line. We're settling back to the AI line right here. Let's look at a few others here. I do want to discuss a few. I want to look at XYL. So, Vanessa, the lovely Vanessa Jane, was telling us that this is what's coming for XYO. That's a bold move, also. I got in on right here, and I got impatient, and I'm like, I won't even get into my ugly little situation I had with this, but I get in on this, and I got impatient, and I sidestepped it. I didn't lose money. I sidestepped profit, and I took extra entries, and I leveled down and stuff like that. I was expecting, basically, if you're going to maneuver us for us to go down a little bit and go back up, but I am expecting a break up here. She's expecting about 0.0505 here very soon. We shall see. We shall see. Now, as for me, what I'm expecting, there's your 50% call right there. If you wanted to play it this way, just to say you did, you can play it this way. From right here to right here, you can make yourself about 19, almost 20%. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. If everything starts blasting, and it should, you could jump in on XYO right now, at 0.033 cents. And if it goes down, just to have patience, it'll turn around. But you could very possibly find yourself at 20% here by Sunday night. Just a guess. So don't play that as certain advice, because obviously no one can predict the future. My crystal ball works, but it's muddy. I need to polish my crystal ball, but it does work though. So here's one that we do. Speaking of which, love to have all you guys that are, even if you don't subscribe to the charts, I think everybody should have a chance to get into crypto. So it's something I started a long time ago. I have a heart for helping people that just don't get help from anyone else, and so OMG is one that was always been our free call. I told everybody back when we were about $3.30, you need to get in on this. You need to get in on this. And here we are at $14. And I said, so my prediction, or my call, was at about $3. I said, everybody, $3.36, if I remember correctly. I said, get in on this because our system, we have two AI-powered bots. One's our long-distance statistical probability bot, and our other one is our daily statistical probability. ISIS and Anubis are our AI systems, our automated intelligence systems. And so Anubis is our long-term, and Anubis has this forecasted for $20 to $25 by the end of the year. Now, could you get in right now? Yeah, you can get in right now. It's not the best return you can get. Stupidly, I'd be jumping on this right now and just riding the ride today. I mean, from here to here, we're going to be here. Probably by the end of the broadcast, we're probably going to be right here, easily. If this thing keeps dancing, it's probably going to run right up here, no problem. So OMG is a little bit longer call. However, if you guys were following what I told you and you jumped in at $3.36, ride the ride. And you don't necessarily have to get off at $25. I'm just telling you by the end of the year, that's where we expect. It's going to go much higher than that. Truth be told, I expect OMG will probably get up into the $250 range. Wouldn't be surprised at all by that. When crypto kind of comes into its own, I mean, you got to remember that we're still an elite group. We're still, funny to think of it that way. We are still an elite group that understand and get this. I mean, walk around and ask people, you know anything about crypto? I heard of that Bitcoin thing. I mean, we all know we're early adopters, but sometimes when you get to doing this on a daily basis, you're staring at the charts every day and you're thinking, everybody knows this stuff. How come I'm, no, everybody does not know this stuff. it's really, we're 1% of 1% or whatever of the world that even deals in this stuff. And we're even talking about people that are in the financial sector that don't deal with this stuff. So, when those people on board, they're going to be bringing all their dumb money. I don't mean to say that in a bad way, but it is. All their ill-informed money, all their, I got a whole bunch of money and I need to learn crypto coming in, and they're going to throw their money into stuff, and they'll come in through Coinbase, make no mistake about it. And when they do, they're going to be throwing down money on VeChain, OMG, all the Coinbase coins, jacking up your bags. And you can darn well bet you're going to be seeing everything's going to go up as a result of all that dumb money flowing in, plus institutional money and blah, 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 all that other stuff too. So, all right, so Dent is another one we've been talking about. Now, Dent is looking good, really. It's trending up. Now, are we still going to see any kind of drop on this? This is getting to the point. Let me go back to a larger chart here. Hang on just a second. Go to 1 day. So let me go back and tell this story one more time. So this massive run up, this is a pay-as-you-go, third world pay-as-you-go coin for the most part. So there's the call, there's the 50% right there. Clear as day, guys. I mean, this is what I do for you guys that are our subscribers. If you're looking for something that you don't understand what you're doing, obviously I'm not giving financial advice, but my money's on this, and you're looking at from where we're at now to there, 50, 55, 60, 65, 67% returns. That's a 50% move. That is pure TA. There's the opening move, there's the closing move, there's 50% of it, so you're looking 50 to 65% or more on Dent. Yes, we probably will go considerably higher. I do have a considerably higher target for Dent, but if you just want to play the here and the now and half up of your money again, take $100 and add $50 to it, you can do that with Dent. It's going to take you a little while. It's not going to be a straight moonshot, but here in the next 30 to 45 days, I have zero doubt in my mind we're going to hit this target and better. So Dent is an ERC20 coin. I do not consider them to be flipper coins. If you're going to be in anything involving ERC20 or Ethereum, if it's Ethereum powered, you don't want to be moving stuff in and out. It just will rape you for the fees. So you kind of want to take a little longer term investment profile with that. That's like with a Reef or with a Dent or XYO off of Coinbase. Anything that you can't buy in and out of off of Coinbase. Shiba also. If you're not able to trade off of Coinbase where it'll save you those fees, then you don't want to be flopping in and out. You want to buy and hold and wait for some really good appreciation, then sell for profit. Dent would be one of those. This is not a flipper coin. However, if you join in like right now, I think the probabilities that we need to get out of this triangle right now. See how beautiful that's following my predicted line right there? Just beautiful. I mean, and so as soon as we break and come up above that and get into this triangle right here, our first real line of resistance is going to be right. It's going to be right there at the top of that green box. So once we pierce that green box, I would not be a buyer until we cross that purple. Once we cross one candle, two candle, then I would go, all systems go, and just watch it. So you're giving up like a quarter, a half, or 1% or whatever. That's called a safety buy. And from here to here, still not doing bad. 35% to as much as 42%. Not bad at all. And it can make a move like that. Look at some of these moves have done in just a matter of one or two candles, 1 or 2 days. So Dent's about ready to show us something. So Telcoin, I had been kind of staying off of Telcoin because I've just got too many irons in the fire. So we've been kind of slow about it lately because markets are moving and stuff's going on here. So Red Bear, who is our technical, I guess you could call us our coin technical expert, does research and comes up with diamonds in the rough, and he pulled out a good one on this one, damn good one. And so he does Red Bear reviews, which I've got a couple of them in editing that's going to get posted here pretty soon. But he picks a coin. He's going through all of our coins and he's doing reviews and talking about them. He finds something new. So he brought Telcoin to the table, and I put it up on Platinum and Platinum Pro. And I haven't had a chance to buy in on this. I'm disappointed because I should have known, because he's right. I should have known. This is very much like Dent. It's kind of in that same pay-as-you-go thing, and there's a lot more to this one. Very smart people behind this project, and he really broke it down, stuff like that. And woke up one morning and yippee-ki-yay, up over 45% in a very short period of time, and before that even more so. So this thing is still at like under 2 pennies. I mean, is there any more juice left in the squeeze? Yeah, I believe there actually is. Right now, currently, here's where my take on it is this. I'm just speaking broadly, so don't take this as investment advice, just common sense and some food for thought. We are at the bottom of a channel that I very clearly demonstrated is working. You can see, I mean, it's literally paint by numbers. Now, if we're given to believe that this channel is authentic, which it clearly is, we could probably make the case that we're looking like we're slightly outside this channel. However, if we stay inside this channel, we are slightly below a 200 EMA. It doesn't, this is not a coin that tends to wander too far away from the EMA moving average, 200 moving average. It doesn't tend to move away very much. Unlike something like a Shiba or whatever, which, by the way, I gotta kind of keep my eye on that. I'm checking my prices every couple seconds here. What I would tell you is this: we are in the next 30 to, we'll just say 30 to 45 days. It's gonna be sooner than that. The next 30 to 45 days, all markets will rise. All coins will rise. We are in the blast zone. The rocket is shaking. It's ready to leave the launch pad. And I'm speaking broadly to all crypto market. Between now and say the 28th, we're expecting some very, very good stuff. Shiba's front running it. So if that's to be the case, if we're to believe that to be the case, we are at the bottom of a channel, then statistically, using probabilities, using common sense, using odds in our favor, using the stuff that we see, we stand a very good chance of considering this to be probably a bottom buy, where we could go, hell, we could grab that thing and just own that and just let it go on up. And if you wanted to flip it, which I'm not a big fan of flipping ERCs, you could flip it at that dual AI line right there and net yourself over 30% on Telcoin. In the matter of, look how fast these things go up. The matter of just, this is a 15-minute chart. That's in less than 1 day that thing did 30%. And it's happened many times, many times. So you may want to consider finding where you can find Telcoin. Red Bear, if you're in the chat, could you please let everybody know what exchanges you can buy Telcoin at? And of course, obviously, you guys subscribe to the channel, like and subscribe to our channel here. Share this, and do me a favor, guys. While you're watching the live stream here, while I'm ranting along, copy and share a copy of this. Our subscriptions are growing slowly but methodically. I'm really behind where I wanted to be. I stopped all my YouTube, Google advertising, and it's kind of, we were growing by leaps and bounds. We were adding about 2,000 to 2,500 people a week to the subscription, and I cut back my advertising and stuff like that because I got busy with other things. But if you could do me a favor, share out with your Telegram, share out with your other crypto groups, share out, let everybody know what's going on over here, because we got something very, very special, and we'd love to have as many of you be a part of that as possible. So you guys are my best advertising, so I would appreciate you doing me a solid here. It's what show me some love and keep me coming back for more. So now ICP is one that we've been talking about a little bit in the last couple of days. I believe that this thing is ripe for to be another one of those coins that's just going to take over the world. It would be foolish not to own a part of this. As I've said many times, not a huge fan of owning a $45 coin. That's a lot of meat on that one. But given the fact that this thing's going to go up and be easily 4 digits, I'm not terribly concerned knowing that. I mean, would you like to buy Ethereum at $45? You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of that in the early stages. So, suck it up, do it, get it done. I'm not saying you need to mortgage your house or go all in on it right now, but here's basically what my plan is. And let me kind of get off script a little bit here, as if there were a script. Let me tell you what my plan is. I went to a lot of people are going to be following. So we're looking for that one coin that's going to be the one above all, that's going to basically front run everything and just rain down profits. We can scrape off the profits and then go back, as I said at the first part of this broadcast when I was talking about one of our members at a 15x profit. Take it. And that's exactly what we're going to do with Shiba. Is I'm going to scrape off a massive amount of profit. I'm going to take that, and the first question I'm going to ask myself is, what is getting beat up right now? I'm going to go and buy the stuff that makes sense, goods if there even is anything, or wait for a pullback, because there will be a pullback. In December, there's going to be a pullback. We didn't get one in October yet, so, the longer it goes, it's like stretching a rubber band. You want to stretch it for 2 more months, you're going to get one mighty, mighty slap back when that thing finally breaks and lets go. So you've heard some of these guys probably talk about 20, well, not 20, but talking about 50, 60, 70, 80% drops. It's the statistical probability of that happening in October is not that good. The statistical probability of that happening, if we don't get one by December, is almost a foregone conclusion, because you just simply cannot run a market up that high that it doesn't come back. So, and come back fiercely, badly. So by that I mean, any coin that runs up 100 points could very well run back down 90. Look at Dent. Go look at that ridiculous run that Dent did when it first got. It's kind of like that. Anything that goes up that hard, that fast, will come down almost as much. MATIC did it, and quite a few coins are notorious for having done that. But the whole market's going to do that coming in December. So my point being is, if we get into Shiba, I want to scrape off those profits before the bottom falls out of everything. Not only Shiba, but Bitcoin, and pick your favorite coin. It's all going straight in the toilet. I want to take that money, sit along the side, and just walk through the field of diamonds, just picking up all the good deals. Because once they regroup, she'll turn around, wash, rinse, and repeat, and start rising again. But I'll take all that profit that I made off one single or 2 or 3 coins, and I will sit back on that, take all that profit, and then I will diversify across much more stuff, like more XDC, more Dent, more whatever coins you want to do, and I'll take that, and that's basically, that will be, as that goes up the next cycle, then wash, rinse, and repeat, and just keep making it bigger, and that's pretty much what you want to do. So right now, for you guys that are working with not so much money, you really just need one that works really, really well, and so currently that seems to be this one right here. So this is where all your eggs hopefully are. If you guys are late to the party and you're just tuning in on the live stream going, oh my God, should I FOMO in on this? I'm not going to go yes. I'm not going to say yes, but yes. Here's the thing on this one. This one has so much more to go. Let me be very specific on my thoughts on this. This one is going to go so much higher than we are even right now, that if you can control yourself, if you bought this, and let's say, for example, they did decide tomorrow just to take it all back, would you, are you the type of person that could look at that and go, well, Jesus, I just bought this and lost all this value? Would you capitulate and sell? Would you have weak hands and sell? Or would you go, okay, well, this is how a market works. A market goes up, and then it crashes, and then it goes up even higher, and then it crashes, and then it goes up higher. Could you ride that ride down and sit waiting for that run right there? Because if the answer is yes, you could do that, and you truly believe that, and you truly are absolutely sure that you're that type of person, because trust me, 60 days is a long time. It doesn't seem like it, but it's a long time to look at charts every single day. I've watched a lot of guys that are in a group that know these prices are going up, and they still capitulate and sell, even though I'm telling them, even though they look at this stuff, even though they mentally they know this. It's a head game. It's a sick psychology. If you're the type of person that can watch that go down, sit on it, or just leave it alone. Go find, take up knitting. Go, go, get away from the damn computer. Go take a walk. Go, go walk your dog or something like that. And you can do that knowing, because basically what you're looking at is you're hoping it does one of these. But if it does one of these, can you live with it? If the answer is yes, then FOMO away, boys and girls. Right now, never a better time than right now. That's the answer I'm going to give you. So don't come back at me and say I told you to buy this thing, because I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm telling you to consider your options. This is not a bad price considering what's going to be happening in the future, the near future. But there's always a better price. Somebody always got a better price than you did. Somebody paid less than I paid when I bought my last one. Somebody paid less than him, etc., etc. That's just the way the market is. If you drive looking in the rearview mirror, you're going to end up crashing. It's just basically how it goes. Same way with investing. You can't look at what you should have done. You look at every trade like a new, fresh trade. Does it make sense going from here to here? Yes. Then forget everything that's going on down here, because that's not relevant to the conversation. Can you make money going from here to here? Yes. Then forget everything that's going on down here, because that's not germane to the conversation. Okay, that's the way you have to look as a certified professional investor. You don't worry about what could have happened. You worry about the game, the cards that are being dealt at the time. I've talked about this many, many times. So, VeChain, here's another one. I don't know if we covered that or not. All these charts are starting to look so much alike anymore. Okay, so again, here's that opening move. What are we going to do about that? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what we're going to do about this, because I have a pretty good feeling I know what's about to happen. We've got an opening move here. I'll just be conservative. I could take it to there, but I'm going to take it to here. We've got an opening move here. We need to close that move out somewhere. So if we were to take that move, that velocity, and park it somewhere, we can park it right there in that last crux. And it's going to hit right on the MATIC dual AI line. Funny how that always works, isn't it? So this is probably the next breakout that's going to happen for VeChain. That's kind of a double confirmation, as you're looking at probably going from here. Probably looking at going from here to here. You're looking at about 12% on VeChain. Not by any stretch of the imagination the end of the party. VeChain is going to be a fantastic coin. I don't need to sell this. I think if you know what it is, then you know what it does, and you don't need me, pitching it to you. Would I be buying this right now? Looking at this chart, would I be buying this right now, going into what could be a very bullish week ahead? Yeah, I would. There's really if you haven't done it by now, which you should have. But if you're new to the broadcast and never heard me talk about this when it was clear back at 3, 4, 5 cents, 7 cents, then better late than never. VeChain is going to $7 to $15 in that range in the not too distant future. So you're not going to get hurt. This is. I won't quite put VeChain in the blue chip category, but it's going to earn. It's kind of like Nasdaq to the Dow. it's kind of like that. You don't always have to be a blue chip to be considered classical or to be considered like worthy of investment. VeChain's kind of in that second strong second tier, top part of second tier. So 13.5 cents VeChain. Here's how I would play this: is be sure, don't just buy it just because I'm telling you to, or because I'm suggesting that you might want to. Wait for it to break out of the channel, get a little bit moved, give up, let it get past that AI line right there. You're losing what? What are you losing? You're losing 2%. It's better to lose 2% possibility than watch this thing turn and go. Because what would make this go down? Let me show you the other side of the story. This is a velocity. This is going to play out. This actual distance is going to play out, I assure you. So what could happen is they could take it and they do this thing where they basically run it 180 degrees, the opposite of what it should do or what TA does. We saw so much of that for almost 3, 4, 5 months. It was disgusting. this summer that every time you're like, well, it should go up, it's going down, but I'm right, just the wrong direction. It just pissed me off. But it was a bad summer to be trading, and so thank God they've got over that. Now they're playing a different little scam, which is the 50%. But I got that one figured out. So those you can actually make money on. But when they were reversing moves that should have gone up, and they sent them down instead. Man, that was rough. It was a rough summer. So what I'm saying is this: you stand a very strong possibility of getting up to this dual AI line. But as I've often said, if you're going to make a purchase at all, be happy. Are you happy owning it at 13.5 cents? If you're wrong and it goes down, can you watch this thing go down and wait for it to come back up? It will. I assure you, it will come up much higher than 13.5. But you take your shot. If you take a shot here and it doesn't, and it goes down instead, back down to the half line, are you going to have a pucker moment and go, oh, crap, and sell it? Or are you going to go, well, okay, I'll just have to wait a little bit longer for my profits. If you could do that, then buy it. Buy it right now. Don't think about it. Because you've got a probability of making, at this exact moment, of making about over 13% on it. I wouldn't really call that a hard retrace. Yes, I would call it a retrace. I'm fine with that because we're like know where my dotted line is. We're right on resistance. So that's actually really nice. As long as we don't break that purple line, we'll be fine. What you're watching is these indicators right here on the 1 day. Now, to get in on the 15 here, let's take that other. So here would be a good example. All right, let's do another one here. This will be fun. So, if we were to take this, right? I don't know why this is doing all this little jaggly. I'm not doing that. Something my mouse is having problems. I can't make straight lines. So I'm not drunk. Trust me. but, okay, so not intentional. But anyway, so there's our flag. All right, that's what TA says. That's a bear, or that's a bull flag. It's a bull flag. I read it in a dummies book, so it must be true. that's a bull flag. So a bull flag, according to the dummies book, says that should go right there. All right. So if it does, then that's where we're supposed to cash out and become rich and famous, right there. But yet again, 50% puts you right on a dual AI line. So I'm telling you this, guys, your next move up, fairly certain move up, if it does move up, is going to be 0.03. I'll just do this. It's going to be right here. Book it. Now, should you sell? Oh, no. This is just kind of points on a curve. Just fun to watch and say, I told you so, all the way up. So that's the next thing that should happen, is it should go there. Now, what's likely to happen is it'll probably go up there, psych you, turn around, flip, come back down, bounce off this purple right here, ping pong along a little bit. We get to Sunday, and maybe we blast again. You never know. But mark my words, I'm telling you right now that this is going to stop right on that line right there. Meetup, I'm looking at the chat here. Meetup, go to the unfairadvantage.chat and go to the meeting room. So hang on just a second here, guys. I don't know if any of you guys have ever. So this is our Discord. If you go to Fibby Charts, hang on just a second. I'll do that. If you go to Fibby Charts, you go to right here. Go to News and Rumors, Red Baron's birthday, right there. And it'll tell you everything you need to know. And then of course our Vegas deal is right here as well. So if you want to know anything about the meetup, the time, basically we're just going to be live posting in this room, probably videos. I don't know, photos from it. It just God only knows. I know that everybody's probably going to have their damn phones with them watching charts and stuff. So. We'll be either talking about charts. Everybody will be looking at their phone, calling out prices. I can already see what this is going to be like. But the mods and the diamonds are going to be getting there. We're going to have kind of a guys' day ahead. It's just going to be alcohol and liquor. It's going to be alcohol and guns. The day before, we're going to go to a shooting range. All of us are bringing our guns, and we're going to go to a shooting range and just have kind of a guys' day and women can come too if you own guns. Where we're going to be shooting, and on the 30th, which I got to get my days. But anyway, the whole thing is going to start probably. We're going to be meeting at, I believe it's called Schoolhouse Bar. Flemish, if you're in this, Flemish is my mod who's planning this. If you're in this, put the time and stuff like that in this chat if you could, please. If not, he's got it all right here. So, but we're probably going to start round about maybe 11 o'clock at Schoolhouse Bar, and we're going to probably shut the place down. We might move to another place, you never know, but we're expecting probably better than 40, 50 people at this point in time that have confirmed, so that's pretty cool. So more the merrier. Love to have you. All right. So a few other, excuse me. I'm still waiting for Songbird to get a chart, and I've said this many times. I'm sure everybody already knows the obvious. TradingView just does not have any charts yet for Songbird. I'm going to start talking about it as soon as I can track it. I won't be able to give a lot of. Oh, it doesn't open until 11. Okay, I was talking about the bar. So, but anyway, I kind of got off track there. So we're gonna talk about, or we're going to be posting where we are, our meetups and stuff like that. So you guys that venture into Georgia that want to make sure, oh my God, what if I show up in Georgia and those guys went somewhere and I can't find them? That won't be a problem. If we're gonna go somewhere else, or we're gonna be somewhere, we're gonna post it live in the Discord. So all you gotta do is just have your phone app, and you'll know. Just go to that room, and we'll give live photos of what's going on, where we're at. So if the group decides that, hey, we've shut this bar down, we drank all their alcohol up, and we're going to go somewhere else, and we'll post that. So every, because I know how these things are. Some people show up early, some people come in, some people show up late, whatever, and it just is how it is. That's how parties are. So we will post our whereabouts and our whatabouts as we go through the day, through the next couple of days of that party. So it'll be Friday and Saturday. We'll let everybody know what's going on and where we're at. So you won't run the risk of coming into town trying to find us and find us just not there. So that would be kind of a bummer, and we won't let that happen to you. So, all right. So back to persistence here. So I was talking about Songbird. So Songbird doesn't have charts yet, and when it does, I'm not going to be able to do an awful lot with it until we just have to have some. We just have to have some track record. One of the problems with some of these new releases, you can't predict. Like, here's persistence. I mean, just started not that long ago. So I mean, the charts don't go back that far. And ISIS and Anubis is our statistical probability. What it does is it sucks up all the data from ever since it was first listed, and it figures its statistical probabilities based upon that. We don't have a lot of statistical probabilities because we don't have an awful lot of chart data to work with. So it's a building thing. The longer we chart, the better. The smarter the system gets, and so. With persistence, basically, we fall back on just what ISIS gives us based upon short-term stuff, and just using TA and just good old-fashioned gutting it out, instinct. So I'm not trading persistence just yet. I just, you can't have them all, guys. You can't. I mean, this isn't Pokemon. You're not trying to collect them all. It's just you can't do it. You can't. You shouldn't. I was talking to Vanessa on air the other day. She's got 17 coins. Want to get her ironed out because I'm not a fan of owning more than really honestly. I think 7's about my limit right now. I've got 5. I'm not a fan of owning so much that it becomes top heavy, and these markets are going to move all together. I mean, I've said this repetitively. Just imagine some of these guys come into my group and they've got, I got like 80, 90 coins. I mean, Jesus, God in heaven, what are you going to do with all that if the market starts going? It's going to be a shit show. You're not going to know what coin, what exchange, how do I move my wallet? The exchanges are down, the networks are not working, and you know how these markets are work. They'll go flashing up, and how are you going to feel if we get a flash top? And you got 90 coins. First of all, you got to get everything loaded up. You got to evaluate. You got to assess. You got to count your profits. Then you got to move it. Then you got to sell it. I mean, how many of those can you do in a flash rise before it just turns, flips, and drops, and you lose all your potential? So, I was a paper millionaire, multimillionaire for 36 seconds. That's the danger that you run. Yes, you can auto trade. You can have stuff like that to a point. The other part about that is what if it's running harder than your set sell point? What if, for example, excuse me, what example is if you set your price, your sell price maybe about 2 months ago and forgot about it because you got too damn many coins. You think, oh yeah, well I bought ABC coin at 25 cents and I think I'm going to sell it at $5, and this thing runs to 25, but you set a 5 and you forgot about it. Yeah, you don't want to do that, guys. You don't want to do that. This is why sometimes you got to let them go. You want to be a little bit diversified. Obviously, I'm not. I'm in very, very heavily in about 2 coins, but they're good. They're good coins. And I've got a few others that just like, well, for example, I've got Flare, and nothing I can do about it. I own Flare, whether I like it or not, and XYL, Reef, and stuff like that. So. But my biggest holdings right now are Shiba and XRP, very much so. I would say they represent probably 95% of my portfolio. Now, that's not something I suggest a lot of you guys do. I just operate on a different level than you guys do. But I have a lot of backup plans and contingencies that are not available for you guys, and I'm able to move faster than you guys are too. So, but for the average person with good, better, best amount of money, I mean, I don't think that you should ever have more than 10 coins because you just don't have the attention span and time allotted to take care of this stuff. If you were a company and you had assistants that had portfolio managers or something like that, that's an entirely different discussion. But for the average Joe, you're diversified enough at 10, I think. You go 3 conservative, 3 aggressive, and then the rest kind of middle ground, stuff like that. Good enough. You're going to have some winners, you're going to have some losers at any given time. You're going to have some superstars, you're going to have some that you got to poke it with a stick, make sure it's still alive. But as the market rises, you don't want to be holding 90 friggin' coins and asking yourself, oh my God, what should I sell? Because I think the most, we had one gal that came in that had 265 coins. She had, like, what the hell did you do? Did you buy everything everybody pushed in front of you? She's buying them like really super cheap, and she's like, well, I'm up like 300% on this. I'm like, I think I'd probably sell that. Some of these coins I'd never even heard of. So, I mean, if you are one of these people I'm talking about, and you're up, 100, 200, 300% on some coin that nobody, you might want to sell it and get into something more serious, because I assure you that whatever goes up comes down. The shit coins, these smaller coins, come down a lot harder and a lot faster and a lot sooner. So if you're in profit on some of these coins that no one's heard of, or some weird coins and stuff like that, with the exception of things like of persistence and XDC and whatever, I'm talking about these small coins. You need to get out. Is my opinion. And diversify is good, but you need to consolidate. That's the other side of the coin. You need to consolidate. And in that way, you can pay attention to say, put it into Shiba. I'm not suggesting specifically, but put it into something that has a good track record, has good press on it, has the public eye on it, has the best probability of going up, and that would be a Shiba, that would be a any top blue chip coin or something like that. So just listen to my words of wisdom there and take them as they're intended. Looking good. All right, so Solana, this is one that's this is I can't even remember. I think it was like $45. I brought this to the group when we were in the mid 30s, I believe, and I told everybody this was going to be a good coin. I told everybody this was going to be a coin that was going to do well in the future. Boy, was I right. And so right, because we've had several market downturns and beat downs and whatever, and this one is a fighter. This one's a fighter. And it just keeps climbing, it just keeps grabbing, it just keeps going, keeps getting good news. And there's just nothing that sucks about Solana. There's nothing. Currently now we're at a price oh, should I buy in at $1.95 or $195? Not off the street, no. Let me give you a good example. So when Shiba runs up to its insane prices and you're sitting on bags and bags and bags of cash, and you're like, oh, what am I going to do now? I got all this money, I got to put it somewhere. Now you get into something that a lot of you guys have never had before. You got a problem that you've never had before in your life. You got too much money and you realize how stupid you are. I don't mean to say that to discourage you, but let's talk about this a little bit. Let me kind of get off script a little bit. So there are stages to being a wealthy person. Let me tell you. I haven't told a good story for a while. There's stages to being a wealthy person, I'm constantly fascinated by it because I've taught hundreds of thousands of people real estate. I write books. I've wrote over 300 books on business, and I'm a stage speaker. I've traveled all over. I've done this many times, and so I've met all facets of people. People that work in a shoe store that became millionaires. I've met millionaires that end up working in a shoe store because they can't handle it. And I will tell you that there's so much I could say about this, but let's kind of keep it on point. There is. Let's just talk about not the psychology. Let's just talk about the stages of wealth. So right now, a lot of you guys, you have jobs, just over broke, jobs that you go to. The crypto for you is an escape, and I want that to be an escape for you. This is what I do. Why I do this is because I'm here to change lives. I'm here to help you folks. My intents are as pure as they sound, and I'm telling you, I'm here to help you. That's my mission in life. When you learn how to do something well, you look around, you've got a few guys that can do it too, but it's not fun. You want to make the party bigger. It's lonely at the top. Don't cry. I won't cry on your shoulder, but I'm telling you, this group has been quite nice to be able to associate with people that are receptive to the things that I'm telling, because the vast majority of people that I teach this stuff to, I should probably buy some Bitcoin, and then they never do. I should probably buy some crypto. I'll look into that next week. No, you won't, you liar. You won't. You won't. And so there's a group of people such as yourselves that you've taken the commitment, you've gotten in, you're listening to the channel, you're listening to this guy tell stories and whatever, and you bought some crypto. So you are in a certain class where you've taken that first step. Now, it's a long road. It's a long way to the top. And so what's going to happen soon is all of you are going to be dealing with the amount of money that you've never seen before in your life. I promise you this. I promise you this. You're looking at more money in your life soon than you've ever touched in your life. Now, I've talked about this one other time, and I'm going to be repeating this story an awful lot because I want you to see this in yourself and say, hey, Barron told me this was going to happen, because recognition is part of the game. Is if you don't see what's happening, it's going to be too late. So what's going to happen is this, and this is in my books that I write when I talk about unlimited wealth, which is one of my books. I have spent a great amount of time with some of the richest people in the world. Some of my best friends are members of the Seagram's alcohol family, and they live right here in town with me. And very humble. You never know these folks are multi-billionaires. Never know. They drive like an 8-year-old BMW. They look like middle-class people, but that's neither here nor there. But how they handle money and how they handle wealth, you learn from the rich, and I have very, very well. And so what ends up happening is this. You guys end up with more money than you've ever had. Now, there is a thing that I call the financial thermostat that's built into every single person. And you have one for relationships, and you have lots of different thermostats. And let me explain what I mean by this. For example, let's talk about dating here for a second. So if you're the type of person that just never seems to be happy in a relationship, and you get into a relationship, I've seen this with a few ex-girlfriends, so I can kind of speak very specifically about this, and things are going good, and you just start to self-sabotage. It's like, oh, it's just, there's just something in your brain that's just sickly hooked up. Like, I got to ruin this. I got to ruin this. And it's that way with money. There is a thing. Money is so much the part of the human experience that without it, I don't think a lot of people. You meet a stranger for the first time. What's the first three questions? Hi, my name is Bill. What do you do, Bill? Meaning, what's your lot in life? The subcontext of that meaning, what are you worth, Bill? Well, hi, I'm Bill. I pick up garbage for a living. Yeah, great. Hi, I'm Bill. I'm a biomechanical engineer. Oh, well, tell me more, Bill. And so money is important. It defines our existence here on this human plane. Now, we come into this existence basically with a clean slate, but through our indoctrination and through the people that surround us, embed their views into us, and we kind of take upon their opinions, and we kind of start to shape our own view of the world. And by doing so, we start to kind of define who we are in this world and our lot in life. We create our own reality, folks. It's true. I've wrote many books on this. We create our own reality. Let me tell you a little. I loop my stories, so if you guys are new to live streams, so I'll close all these loops as I get through this. So I grew up. My father's a very high up military man. I won't get into that story, but in his retirement, he didn't have very much. Government didn't treat him very well. So I ended up being pretty middle class America. But luckily, my parents always instilled in me, and because I'm 6'10". For you guys that don't know, I am a very tall gentleman. I'm tall. I'm not normal, and I'm 6'10". I stand out, so I'm just different anyway. I'm different in every single way, and so I think different. I move different. I talk different. So I handle money different, etc., etc. I've just always been kind of, people look up to me, literally and figuratively. So. I have a certain view of myself, let's just say, not in an arrogant or egotistical way. I just have, I would make a very sad excuse for a poor person at 7 foot tall. I look successful, I'm tall, just that kind of thing. And so that has kind of got into my psyche. So I'm just naturally pre-programmed to want to be successful because people expect me to be. It's kind of funny how that loop goes. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I have always, and I'm just a unique thinker, I've always been blessed with the fact that I can kind of create my own jobs and stuff like that. I've founded 7 multi-million-dollar companies, never went to a bank to borrow any money, and just straight out of my head. And FibiCharts is another one. My son is the one that created FibiCharts, and he's exactly like me. He's a insanely intelligent young man. He does everything. He makes me tired watching him. And so I'm able to just basically create my own reality. So this money comes as a byproduct of this. And so, to get somebody handing me $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, if you hand $30,000, and I don't mean to say this in a disparaging way, if you hand $30,000 to the average person in a poor part of the country, they're going to go out and buy rims for their car, or they're going to go be ghetto fabulous. And I'm not trying to be funny about this. It's the truth. It's the truth. Because they were not raised, they were not educated, they have never taken the time to learn what to do if somebody gave you 30, 40, 50, 100, $1 million, what to do with that. And so is it any surprise, is it any shock? I actually lived down the street when I was in Iowa. I actually lived down the street from the Iowa Lottery, the main office building. So I see every single one of these people over the years come and go. And I think all of you know the legends and the stories, how most lottery winners end up more broke than they were before they win the lottery. It becomes a curse, and it is a curse if you don't know how to do it. So to kind of close the close the loop on one of these stories is this: if you're about to win the crypto lottery, boys and girls. What are you going to do? Are you going to be a statistic that's going to be more broke and go, fuck, I wish I never have goddamn crypto. Why did I ever get into this? Now I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. I might as well kill myself. I don't want to see that for you folks. I don't want to see any of that. There's no reason for that. So what it is inside of each and every one of us is a thermal is a thermostat on our acceptance of wealth. Are you a $20,000 person? Are you a $50,000 person? Are you $1 million person? Now don't listen to this. I know you're all smirking and go, I'm $1 million person. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Be honest with yourself. Are you really $1 million person? Do you have $1 million habits? Have you ever invested anything other than just taking a wild lottery ticket shot? What kind of lifestyle do you lead that gives you the right to be $1 million person? Hard question to be asked by a total stranger, but it's something you should hear. So here's what I'm going to tell you is this. When, not if, when you become wealthier than you've ever seen, watch within yourself the habits that you start to take on. It'll magnify. Money will magnify who you are as a person. For example, currently, let's say, for example, you work at I'll just say Quick Trip, which is a local gas station. If you work at that gas station, your reality is you get up in the morning, you go to work, and you come home, and you kick your butt down, you watch Netflix, and you crash. You don't read a book on how to take that money you made while you're working at Quick Trip and grow it. So if you get $1 million tomorrow, what are you going to do? You're probably going to, the first day, you're probably going to watch Netflix. You're probably going to go buy yourself a bigger TV, aren't you? You're probably going to invite your friends. You're probably, oh my God, I need a movie room. Oh my God, I want to have a bigger house to watch Netflix in. You're going to do those sorts of things, and you're going to look up, and you're going to go, where did my $1 million go? It's gone. And now I got a $1 million house or whatever, and I got to pay taxes on $1 million. I don't have the money to pay the taxes. Then you lose your $1 million house. I've seen this so many times, guys. I can't even begin to tell you. And I vowed when I started this project, and my son started Fibby Charts. I vowed that if I was going to be out here, I was really going to teach for the first time. I was really going to teach people that are receptive and wanted to listen to me how to get it, how to protect it, how to maintain it, and how to pass it on to the next person. And that's what we do. And that's what we do at the unfairadvantage.chat. So if you guys are new to the live streams, again, welcome. We'd love to have you be a part of what we do here. So this is not a pitch to sell you anything. It's a pitch to help you save your life, to improve your life, because there's going to be so many people that are out there that are going to be wanting and needing. I'll transition into another story here I want to tell you, and we'll get back to crypto here in just a little bit. This was kind of a heart-wrenching story I want to tell you. It just kind of come to mind. I meant to tell on live stream also. But, what are you going to do with that money? I mean, at a certain point in time, I want you guys to be generationally wealthy. But after that, you need to do something with it. And you'll find no greater sense of satisfaction than be able to help other people. And that's what we do. And what we do is we help the homeless. We help feed the people homeless. That's what Chase does. Chase is my son. He helps feed the homeless with some of the revenue that comes in. And boy, the need is definitely there. And it's going to be even greater as prices go up and stuff like that. So let me tell you a little bit of a story, and we'll get back to crypto in just a second. So I have a conversation. I'm such just a notorious flirt. I talk to girls all over the world, and I spoke with just a darling little Filipino gal. I used to live in the Philippines for a couple of years. I talked to just a darling little Filipino gal last night. And we were talking about my time in the Philippines. I have been rich and I have been poor. And brothers and sisters, let me tell you, you've never been poorer until you've been poor in a third world country and wondering if you're going to be living on the streets. And I almost was with my son. Horrifying experience. Horrifying experience. I came back to America with literally nothing. And it was the scariest. It really defined me as a person. And so having been through pure hell and survived many times, speaking with this little gal last night, and she lives in Dumaguete. Dumaguete is kind of the area where all I call them Vietnam vets, like the late 60s, early 70s, whatever, retired guys that go get themselves a cute little girlfriends and marry them, make wives, and they make their retirement plans. They live in Dumaguete, and Dumaguete is about it's in the middle of the Philippines. And it's about 20%. She tells me it's about 20% foreigners that live there, which is a high area. Where I lived in a Muslim area. It was me and Chase and a bunch of damn Muslims. Very sweet people, though. It's not what you think. But we were like the only two white people, and like 2.5 million people. We were like the only two white people. We kind of stood out just a little bit. And but anyway, she said that there's like 20% people, and then she was telling me about her experience, and I said, well, how come, just gorgeous little girl. I said, how come you don't have a boyfriend? She goes, oh, well, she was telling me that whole story. And we got onto the subject of how I used to live there and how things didn't work out. She goes, I feel bad for foreigners. And she goes, there's a foreigner guy, and we're going to talk about this guy. We're probably going to meet him live on air as of probably tomorrow. So I'm kind of prepping you guys to hear this story. So you might hear how this story plays out. So she tells me about this guy that came to the Philippines trying to change his life. When I left America, I'd had it with America. It had crushed a couple of multi-million-dollar businesses. I just, F this country, I'm leaving. And so that's why I left. And this guy left also. He was a roofer. And a couple years ago, he ended up marrying a Filipina or something like that, and she scammed him because it happens. You gotta be cagey dealing with these women. They're very sweet, but some of them could be really conniving. And anyway, he picked a bad one. And so right now, currently, as I broadcast this gentleman is living in a bamboo hut, homeless, with no money, no job, no help, no nothing, and has been for 2 years. Picture that. Picture that. Down on a beach, living in a bamboo hut, with nobody, no support, nobody back home, whatever. And so this very sweet gal, she says, I feel bad for him, and I bring him bread, and she has no money either. So she basically takes him food to keep this guy alive. And I was talking to my 21 group, which is made up of psychics and mediums and stuff. And we've talked about this on past live streams. Who I am and what my goal is. And so somebody said to me the other night, they said, you're going to meet somebody, you're going to help change their life. And I go, well, that's every day. He goes, no, this is somebody who really needs you. So into my life comes this gal last night, and she tells me about this guy. So immediately I got a vision of, I think I need to help this guy. And so I told her to talk to him. And so she's going to go down to the beach today, and she's going to take her phone, and I'm going to talk to this guy. I'm going to see what his story is. And if it pans out, I'm going to put this guy on a plane, and I'm going to bring him back to America. Nobody should be left behind. Nobody should ever go through life wanting for somebody to take care of them. This world has so much good in it if you could just look for it. And I'm here to help you guys. The problem with people is they walk through their life and they don't look to the left or to the right to see people and to see, what you'll find when you become wealthy. So as you can tell, I'm quite emotional about this. What you'll find when you become wealthy is it's going to define who you are. You're going to get to a point. You ever see these Hollywood people that just lose money? These Hollywood people that they have everything and they end up killing themselves because there's just no joy. It's because they never look to the left or the right to see who else they can help and to serve. And so the thing that I want to encourage you guys, and we'll get back to crypto here in a little bit, the things I want to encourage you guys is when you have the means, and I do have the means, to help your fellow man, do it. Because you'll find this stuff is all for naught. This is all just digital illusion. It goes away. But the things that you do in this life ripple through the next generation and through the next generation, through the next generation. So make sure that the things that you do with this money that I'm going to help you make has a positive effect. Make this world a better place. So let's take a look at a few other things. Anybody got any questions on anything? Anybody want me to take a look at stuff for you? I mean, I'm more than happy to. I'm just kind of. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this gentleman. I'm going to look into him, see. But it's my intent that if he needs my help, I'm going to put him on a plane. I'm going to bring him back to America, see if I can help him out. Because nobody would do that for me when I was stuck there. ADA and Algo, can do. All right, hang on just a second. Some of you guys that are new on my live stream, you'll find that my stories kind of get a little bit heart wrenching once in a while. So this is not just a crypto channel. This is I don't know what you want to call it. It's just you're among friends here. So sometimes you hear the stories, sometimes you see the successes, the wins, and the losses, and stuff like that. You never know what you're going to hear from me. So I'm like I said, there's nobody quite like me, and I admit that. So let's take a look at Algo here. So Algo is see, my voice is like giving out. I mean, I'm not crying, it's my voices. I've got pre-cancer in my throat, and so it's kind of it can be a bit of a problem sometimes. I lose my voice after about an hour of talking. There we go. All right, so we're still inside of the channel here on this, sort of. Let's redefine our channel a little bit here. All right, so again, much like the other coin, excuse me, much like the other coin I was telling you, is I think we're at the bottom of a potential upshot. So is this the time to be buying? With regard to Algo is one of those, like a Solana, like XDC, like whatever, that you might very well want to consider this, because I'm telling you, $1.89 is not a bad price. I think looking at the probabilities for this week, the best on a pullback, which I don't put an awful lot of likelihood that's going to happen on a pullback, will put you right there. Even if you bought it right now at a dip like this, I assure you we'll start to see it regain ground again before very long. May not be a bad time to consider buying in on that. Again, looking at this kind of changes the game a little bit too. It's not a very classic example of it, but we can kind of squint our eyes. We have something there. Generally speaking, you don't get a double dip in the middle of a W formation. Now, a W formation is kind of like a cup and handle, like that, where your velocity comes in here, and you would do that. And again, lo and behold, look where you end up, right at the bottom, right at that vector line right there. So if and again, there's already a call right there waiting for us. So I like your odds. I like your odds. So if you're not in on Algo, you may very well want to consider. What was the other one? ADA. Okay, ADA. We want to talk about that one too. That one's going to start to get to be a fun one. All right, this thing is kind of not necessarily a sleeper, but how many of you guys have bought this for the first time on Coinbase? I haven't talked about this for a while, but Coinbase, if anyone suggests to you, the more coin, I mean, they're just listing crap. If anyone suggests to you that hey, this is going to get listed on Coinbase, it's going to make the price go up, has never bought Cardano on listing, because they listed it and it went, what the hell? It just kept sliding down and down and down and down and down, and it went down to, I think it went down to like 79 cents. I don't even know what it came on to the exchange, but it's like, holy shit, guys. And so the fact that it's up here and it's got up to like almost $3 and stuff, finally it's like, it's like, man, I'm starting to question my religion there for a minute. But right now, Cardano is we've talked about this on very far past live streams. This thing has ties to Africa, like Dent does, like Electronium does, and stuff like that. It's going to have its day. This is not going to be the fastest runner in the group. It's not. I think its best days are ahead of it, but I think its best days are probably... honestly, I just don't think for the next 12 months this is going to be anything that's really going to just go kaboom. Well, it's never going to be going kaboom. But Cardano is one of these that's going to be a methodical grower. It's never going to have a time when it just goes 10x and 10x and 10x after that. This is just not as I see it looking at the statistic models on my other screen here. It's just not built like that. It doesn't work like that. So if you're looking for something, here was I have lots of thoughts hitting me all at once with this. If this is part of a bag you already have and you're in profit, I'm not going to dissuade you from holding it, but I am going to introduce another thing that I would tell you. There's nothing wrong with owning this because it will have its day. But again, we always talk about that one thing called time value of money. How fast can you double your money? Can you double it in a week, in a month, in a year, in 5 years, in a lifetime? It matters. Oh, I got $1 million. $1 million 20 years from now or $1 million this second? Different discussion. So Cardano, it'll go up in value, but what will value be by the time this goes up? So, it kind of drags back that glory gets dragged back a little bit. So if we're looking at Cardano 3 to 6 years out, doing, whatever it's going to do, what will some faster flyer do beforehand? So I'm not going to outright suggest you dump it because it's a good solid coin. But if you've got a menagerie of coins, you're looking to consolidate down into some conservative ones, some faster ones, some middle ground ones, you might want to keep it. But if you're like holding mostly Cardano, let's come at it that direction. If you're holding mostly Cardano and you're like, I'm waiting for my train break. Meanwhile, you're watching every other thing run right by you. Guess what? Get used to it because it's going to continue to happen like that. So what I'm suggesting to you is this: is if that idea doesn't turn you on, then Cardano might not be your horse. You may not want to be. You might want to dismount and find something else. Is what I'm saying. Don't do it at a loss if you don't have to. But if we have a run here, which we inevitably will, you might want to offload it and look for something that hasn't quite had its run yet. And there's always those. Some go faster than others and stuff like that. So I'm saying you might want to consider selling it, but I'm not saying that it's necessarily a coin that should be sold in all probabilities or in all possibilities. So just kind of see where you fit within that discussion. So that answers your question. Litecoin, man, we never cares about Litecoin. It's so funny. It's just always assumed to kind of be in the number 3 position. But I mean, for what? For what? Just because it was one of the first people to come along. There's going to be a day when it'll probably get up there, but so will everything else. There's a few people that are just diehard Litecoin fans, but I can't tell you why because there's so many 2.0, 3.0 projects that are out that are so much more attractive. I would tell you more so with this one. If you're in profit with Litecoin, take it. In my opinion, because look at it. Let me show you A/B comparison. This would be a very good way to demonstrate what I'm talking about. All right, there's Litecoin. There's Solana. See what I'm talking about? Solana is an ISO coin. It is a coin that's it's just got I can't remember if it's a layer 1, layer 2 solution. I can't remember. Bear would be the one to defer to on that. But Solana is a necessary part of the new economy, new crypto economy. This is not. They are sharing a current move right now. They're sharing basically a general. If I blow this up, you can kind of get literally almost exactly the same little pump up there. So what I'm saying is this: what would you feel better owning? Same price even, as a matter of fact, damn near. So if you know anything about Solana, and you know how this thing has just not surrendered in the face of a downturn, in the face of some of these hard hits that the crypto's taken, Litecoin can't really necessarily say that. There's a hell of a lot more people. I don't know the comparable market cap. Somebody would have to do the research on that. But what I would say is this: if I had this and I was looking at this, and this is just one of many different selections or swaps, I would. You can do this on Coinbase. Just go to Coinbase, not Coinbase Pro, but Coinbase. You can just take this and swap it straight into Solana, if I'm not mistaken, right on Coinbase, and done deal. You lose a couple percentages, but basically you're making a straight across swap for the most part, or actually you get a little bit more. Um, so just food for thought there. I mean, if it were me personally, that's what I'm going to say is this: is if I was holding Litecoin, and I assume you are by that question, if I was holding Litecoin and I had access to Coinbase or someplace where I could kind of do a swap fairly cheap, I would without hesitation get rid of it, because Litecoin just doesn't. I mean, how often do you hear about it? How often do you hear about all the good things coming out on a new or up or coming coin? I mean, this thing's already had a massive run from where it was introduced. This thing's best is yet to come. All right, back to Shiba. Head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders on Shiba? What'd you say on 15-minute chart? 5-minute chart. Yeah, I don't have a 5-minute chart. Still not too worried about that. Not too worried about that. We got what we really have here, by and large, is we really have. We can kind of do it this way if we want to do it. These are kind of different to, it's to call that a triangle when you really don't have a back end back here. I always hate making triangles like that, but if you're just sketching out ideas and stuff like that, that's, you can kind of see where I can come up with that. But I mean, I wouldn't call that a triangle because that's not really a true flagpole. It's kind of like a droopy flagpole on a shitty flag kind of thing. But that's, is what it is. Now, from this, here's where we're watching. So let me teach a little theory here for you guys that are new. So we have indicators that are built into the charts here that we use. We always like to let's show everybody what's going on here. All right, so our first one is this one here. We always like to see blue above red. And currently, anytime blue is below red, that means it's an indicator of going down. And obviously, the green and red and that's the RSI, by the way. Anytime we are red, that means we're heading down. Anytime we're green, it usually means we're heading up. You can see, obviously, the trend is going up and stuff like that. There's also a sub-indicator on there, which I think went way up. Look at that. I'll squish it down. So where you want to watch on this is you want to watch the indicators on the MACD to see, is it starting to lose strength. You can look at the bars if you want, but you can also look at the indicators right there. It's starting to kind of cup a little bit, starting to wilt around the edges, so we're losing strength. So it doesn't mean we're going to fall, it just means we're heading into a negative territory where we might just go green, 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 blip red, back to green. It doesn't mean we have to necessarily go to a very long red session. If the market's got strength and it's running, which let's be honest, it is. So it just means we're basically in a pause point, probably, where this thing's going to slow. It might go into a second session of green, and this thing might flip, and this thing might start to turn back up. This is slightly turning upwards, just a little bit. So I think there's still hope. Where you want to do is you want to go and you want to look at the longer charts and see, do they concur? Same. We've still got some green left here. We're still well above on the DMI. The RSIs, it's looking. I don't mind flat. Flat's a little okay. Blue's still okay. So looking longer out, we're still solid for a hold. So this party ain't over yet. Yes, Coinbase is good for swaps. Well, it's also good for getting free coins to buy crap. If you guys have never done this, I'm sure it's not like I'm reinventing the system or anything like that. But, you can go take these little tests where, what it is like if somebody comes out with their new coin, they get listed. I can't even remember the number of coins that I've done this with, but you can go onto Coinbase, not pro.coinbase, but regular Coinbase, and they'll say earn free crypto is basically the thing. And so you just they teach you about some coin, because the idea is they want to educate you so you buy some. And if you answer a few little quiz questions, which you don't, the whole system is just designed. You just pick a letter. You don't really even have to pay that much attention. Just pick a letter. Nope, not the answer. Try again. Nope, not the answer. You literally don't even have to read the test or whatever. But you can end up with 20, 30 different types of cryptos. You just take all those little menagerie of small stuff. You can hang on to it, but why would you? What I do is I just take it and I just flip it over and buy Shiba with it. So I just did that. I got like $25 or $27 worth of crypto. I just flipped it over into Shiba. Like, I don't know what the rest of these jokers are going to do, but I know what Shiba's going to do. So I took all of it and I just liquidated it with a simple swap over there on Coinbase using the swap function. Just bought $27 worth of Shiba. So not bad for an hour of your time. Flemish has got cannons like got cannon. I'll let you guys read the chat that he just said. You got Civil War reenactment going across. I'm sure you can expand on that later in the chat. Tell me what's going on with that. All right, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for enduring my stories. And the guy that I talked about, we're going to follow up on him, see what's going on. Because like I said, it's not that I'm trying to turn this channel into a giving channel or anything like that, but I'm trying to lead by example here to you guys. As you get to know me and you get to listen to my philosophies in life and stuff like that, I know my purpose in life. And let me close with that. When I was a biker, and let's just say that. I have many different businesses. I manufacture exotic motorcycles is another thing that I do. And I didn't have tattoos. And, you can't have your street cred if you don't have tattoos. But I'm also a real estate investor, and I also do a lot of different other things like that. And I always told myself if I ever had tattoos, the tattoos were going to mean something. And so, I have a really nice story about the one on my left arm, but I'll tell you about the one on my right arm. We'll close the show with this. So, on my worst day, one of my worst days of my life, I was after 9/11. I lost my multi-million-dollar house, and my life was just crushed. And so, on the very moment when they were foreclosing my beautiful 8-bedroom mansion, I said, I just started a new motorcycle company, and I thought I'm gonna get tattoos, just going through that crazy middle-aged life change type stuff. I thought I'm gonna get tattooed. But I also had an up-and-coming television show at the time. I'm also a television producer. I have Second Empire Media as my company, and so part of the whole biker build-off and all that stuff that was going on. This was about that time of life is when that was going on. All that stuff on the Discovery Channel. So I literally got my tattoos live on air, and so I thought if I'm gonna get tattoos, they're going to be something special to me. And so one of the books that I read a long time ago is by a gentleman called O.G. Mandino. Look him up. And there's a book called The World's Greatest Salesman, and I love to sell. It's a challenge for me. I love it. And so one of the quotes that's also tied to the tattoo on my left arm, which we won't get into. One of the quotes that stands out from The World's Greatest Salesman. In fact, it's a very well-known quote. Is the following: I am here for a purpose, and that purpose is to grow into a mountain, not to shrink to a grain of sand. Henceforth will I apply all of my efforts to become the highest mountain of all, and I will strain to realize my potential until it cries for mercy. So that's a lot of. Lucky I'm 6'10". I got a long arm, so that's all on the inside, all on the inside of my right arm. And so every time things are bad for me and I realize, what am I doing wrong or whatever, I have that constant reminder. I am here for a purpose, and that purpose is to grow into a mountain, and I will strain my potential until it cries for mercy. It's there every day in black and white on the inside of my arm. And so in so doing that, part of my potential is to help others. And so that's what I'm here for. So, okay. So just understand you got somebody in your corner here you're listening to. So please like and subscribe and share my channel, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help people change their lives. So on that point, thank you very much for joining my show. My name is Red Baron. Until next time, be safe, be good, and be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.